Did you know that ancient Chinese engineers created a crossbow so advanced it could fire 20 arrows simultaneously, and was still being used by armies 2,000 years later? While European knights were still struggling with basic bows, Chinese inventors had already revolutionized warfare with mechanical marvels that would make modern engineers jealous. As a lifelong history enthusiast, I've always been fascinated by the Chinese crossbow. In this video, I'll share my journey of learning about its history, from its simple design to its intricate mechanisms. Get ready to be surprised by what I've discovered. The story begins during China's Warring States period, around the 5th century BCE, when constant conflict drove incredible innovation. Chinese craftsmen didn't just create another weapon, they engineered a complete technological revolution that would dominate battlefields for millennia. The fundamental breakthrough was the bronze trigger mechanism, called the GE. This wasn't just a simple release. It was a precision-engineered bronze casting with multiple moving parts that allowed for consistent, reliable firing. While other civilizations were still using crude wooden contraptions, Chinese metallurgists had mastered the art of creating intricate bronze triggers that could withstand thousands of shots without failure. But here's where it gets really interesting. Chinese engineers didn't stop at making a better individual weapon. They created the Chuku, a repeating crossbow that could fire arrows as fast as a soldier could work the lever. Imagine facing an enemy who could shoot 10 arrows in the time it took you to knock one. This wasn't science fiction, it was 6th century military technology. The genius lay in the magazine system. A wooden box mounted on top held multiple bolts, and a simple back-and-forth motion would cock the string, load the next bolt, and fire it. One soldier could maintain the firepower of an entire archery unit. The psychological impact alone must have been devastating, facing what seemed like an endless stream of arrows from a single warrior. Chinese crossbow innovation reached its peak with the invention of massive siege crossbows called bed crossbows or ballistas. These weren't handheld weapons, but artillery pieces that required multiple operators. Some could launch bolts the size of spears over incredible distances, while others fired multiple projectiles simultaneously. Archaeological evidence suggests some of these machines could accurately hit targets at ranges exceeding 800 meters. The most remarkable aspect was the standardization. Chinese manufacturers developed interchangeable parts centuries before the concept appeared in European industry. Crossbow triggers, strings, and bolts were manufactured to precise specifications, meaning a soldier could repair his weapon using components from any other crossbow in the army. This level of industrial organization was unprecedented in ancient warfare. Chinese engineers also perfected the art of designing crossbow bolts. They created specialized ammunition for different purposes: armor-piercing bolts with hardened steel tips, incendiary bolts for siege warfare, and even bolts designed to create maximum trauma. The craftsmanship was so advanced that many bolts featured sophisticated aerodynamic designs that wouldn't look out of place in modern ammunition. The tactical applications were revolutionary. Chinese military strategists developed entire battle formations around crossbow units. They created mixed formations where crossbowmen provided covering fire while infantry advanced, essentially inventing suppressive fire tactics that modern armies still use today. The crossbow's accuracy and power meant that heavily armored cavalry, the tanks of ancient warfare, could be effectively countered by infantry units. What's truly staggering is the longevity of these innovations. Chinese crossbow technology remained largely unchanged for over 1,000 years because it was so perfectly engineered. When European firearms finally appeared in China, crossbows continued to be used alongside them because they were more reliable, quieter, and easier to maintain. The manufacturing scale was equally impressive. Archaeological excavations have uncovered crossbow production facilities that could have supplied entire armies. Quality control was so rigorous that crossbows found in different regions of China show identical specifications, suggesting a level of industrial coordination that wouldn't be seen in Europe for another millennium. Even today, modern crossbow manufacturers study ancient Chinese designs. The basic principles of trigger mechanisms, string systems, and bolt design, established by Chinese engineers, remain fundamental to contemporary crossbow technology. Military historians argue that Chinese crossbow innovations were so advanced that they represent one of the earliest examples of truly modern warfare technology. These weren't just weapons. They were masterpieces of engineering that demonstrate how innovation driven by necessity can produce technologies that endure for centuries. The ancient Chinese crossbow reminds us that true innovation isn't about complexity. It's about perfecting solutions that work. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to share and subscribe to watch similar videos on our channel.